You and that woman have arranged a clandestine meeting with some man.
No!
You little whore, don't you deny it. Just like your Aunt Harriet.
Grandmother, please!
You always have been. Don't you think you can hide it from me? It's written all over you. And why do you think... Come back here, I've not finished with you yet.
I need a package brought in undercover.
What's in it?
Grass.
No way. Too risky.
Fair enough. But considering how badly you want to get rid of Desmond, it's a small price to pay, isn't it?
Only if she's taken care of permanently.
Look, there's a couple of hundred missing. Seeing as they were high as kites, don't take much figuring what they spent it on.
Oh, well, you will apologise to Mr. Fellows when you give it to him, won't you?
You can do it yourself, lady. He wants to see you at the club round 11 tonight.
Oh, you mean he's already arranged me to get back inside?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, look, I gotta go.
Oh, wait, the money.
Oh, no, he don't take it till you're back inside.
You see, Sadie, crooks are honest.
Joyce, I'm home.
Joyce.
Come along, Joyce. You've got to try and stay awake.
I just want to sleep.
Oh, I don't know what I would have done if you weren't in when I rang.
Well, I was, so don't fret. Now, come on, Joyce, drink this. You did the right thing getting her to chuck these pills up.
I knew how she was feeling, yet I left the pills in the cupboard.
Well, I made jokes about her leaving her husband so I could move in here. We didn't know this was going to happen.
Do you think we should get her to a hospital?
Oh, no, hospitals have to report attempted suicides to the police. It'll cost her a job. Come on.
Well, look, perhaps we should get her up and moving again.
That's right.
Please, just leave me. No, I don't want.
Now,
I
come on.
don't.
Don't talk, walk. Now, come on.
Oh, all right. I just want. I just really want to sleep. Oh, I'm sorry, Meg. I'm sorry.
We'll have to get a doctor.
No, doctors, please, no doctors, no.
Well, dear, calm down, have we? Got over our little tizzy? You know, I gave that young whippersnapper, Lexi Patterson, a good talking to for interfering in our business. Now, it's no good pretending to read that, dear. It's 6 years old. You've read it once a week since you found it. Why don't you try any Cardi? I'm a bit worried about this sleeve.
No, May. I'm not prepared to discuss the matter any further. As far as I'm concerned, you can wrap
Now,
it up
don't
and
take
enjoy
that tone with me, madam. This is not your ordinary one plain one pearl job. I nearly went cross-eyed following the pattern for this, and it's all your favourite colours.
Oh, a pattern is it? Well, judging from the garments you've made in the past, and considering the comments of those poor unfortunate creatures who've been obliged to wear them...
Don't say
I
it!
would imagine you've been reading the pattern upside down. I will never wear that thing.
Well, so much for your finishing school. I'm not surprised, really. Now I know why I could never bring myself to give it to you in the first place.
Justifying your actions isn't going to make me forgive you.
You have no class, dear. No class at all.
Me? You're the one with no finesse.
And a very cold person. Dug out of a quarry, no doubt. Cold as stone. Oh, if your father were only alive to see the way you treat me...
Don't you bring my father into this. Don't you even speak to me.
I will say what I like, madam, and don't you forget it. This is my cell too, remember. Even though your junk doesn't leave me room to swing a knitting needle.
Well, you won't have to worry much longer, because first thing in the morning, I'm going to ask for a new room.
Good. After 8 years, I think I'm entitled to a bit of peace and quiet.
Now, the wages van will be coming out of these gates here at exactly 11 o'clock. It'll travel down Clayton Avenue and turn into Ferris Lane. That's where you and Spike will be, right?
Yeah, no worries.
Same kind of job as we did in April.
What about this old bird?
Sounds like real trouble.
If she's as crazy as Frank says, we'll all end up on the slammer.
She could be a plant.
She's clean. And none of you seem to be hearing what I'm saying. She'll be on the other side of town.
Oh, come on, you blokes. I already told you what the boss said. She'll be miles away from us when we do the van.
And so will the cops. Tip-off call at the right moment. Every squad car in the city will be travelling away from us.
It's beautiful.
Of course it is. I thought it. Now get to work on the details and we'll go through it again later.
Listen, easy enough to get the old duck into Wentworth, but has she got the nous to check out Ruth Ballinger like you want?
Maybe. Maybe not. We haven't got much choice, have we?
Yeah, I've made you some hot chocolate. It'll help relax you. There I was, telling him I wanted a divorce, and he just kept saying, whatever you think is for the best. As though I just asked him, did he want peas or carrots with the Sunday lunch? Have you thought about getting professional help? I mean, marriage guidance counsellors are very understanding. No, I'm not going back. I still care about him, but I can't live with him anymore. I don't love him, Meg. He's become a habit. Isn't that dreadful? After all these years, a habit. Perhaps you'll feel differently in the morning. He kept saying he understood. But I know he didn't. He never will. Some men are so nice. Fun to be with. You know, like Dennis and Mervyn. But Norm, he's not going to be one of them. No, he's given up. He's just waiting for them to carry him away. But not me. No. I've still got things I want to do. Places to see. I'm not ready to give it all up just yet. Meg, if you hadn't found me, I did find you. And by the sound of you, I think you're back on the tracks again. So let's just forget it, shall we? Thanks.
This is Spike. He's our driver for the job. He'll be waiting for you outside the bank.
Oh, a getaway car. How exciting. Don't worry about me, love. I've seen it all before on the pictures.
Oh, yeah?
Brucey here will be covering you from outside the bank.
With a gun, you mean?
Of course.
Oh, I didn't think there'd be guns. You don't mean real ones, do you?
Yeah, machine guns. In violin cases, you know? Gangland killings and all that kind of stuff.
Keep it nice, Brucey.
Nah, just kidding you. No real guns, just toy ones.
Had me worried there for a moment. Oh, gee, I bet your mum thought you were a real handful.
Smithy here will be guarding the corner. He'll let you know if anything goes wrong.
Nothing's going to go wrong.
Oh, no. Nothing must go wrong with the, what do you call it now? The heist. That's right, isn't it? Anyway, we need split-second timing. Otherwise, I'll never get caught.
Oh, we'll have that all right, won't we, boys? You'll be in and out of that bank before you know what's hit.
Oh, that's what I like to hear. That's why you're the brains behind the operation, dear. You see, I want to take the rap for something to put me behind bars for the rest of my natural.
We'd better leave the boys to finalise the details. Don't worry. In 2 days' time, you'll be right back where you want to be. Back in Wentworth. You can trust us.
Oh, I know.
Come, we'll have a drink at the bar.
Oh, well, I don't normally drink as a rule, but as this is a special occasion, I try one of those drinks they have in all those films. What do you call it now? Bourbon on the rocks?
I think we could manage that.
Oh, one more thing. Look, could you lend me a pair of knuckle dusters, just in case there's trouble?
I don't think you'll need them.
Oh, whatever you say, boss. Oh, one more thing. Do you know that man who's playing the piano when I came through in the bar?
Oh, that's Freddie.
Not Sam.
Freddie.
What a shame.
And Ballinger's lawyer will be coming in again this morning.
Right, well, let me know when he comes in, will you, Andrew?
Will do. Joyce looked quite ill when she arrived. Is she all right?
She's had to make some difficult decisions in the past few days. As a matter of fact, she's decided to leave Norm for good.
I didn't realise it had gone so far.
Oh, we've been talking it through to wee small hours.
Yes, you look pretty tired yourself.
Morning, Joan.
I tried to persuade her to take a few days off, but she won't have the bar.
Sorry about this, but I'm going to... Well, I'm going
Come on, I haven't got time to stand around chatting all day.
Well, Governor's orders. I'm going to have to search you.
What are you talking about?
Well, Mrs. Reynolds has decided...
I see, and exactly how long has this been going on?
What's the problem, Miss Ferguson?
Well, there's no problem, Governor. I don't object to being searched, but I do object to being singled out.
No one's being singled out. Every office has been searched this morning.
Including the Governor.
See.
Well, I have always said that these are the sort of security levels we should have at Wentworth.
Come to my office and I'll give you the supply form.
Well, come on, I want a cup of coffee before I start.
Well, I'd better have a look at your bag and coat.
Oh, for heaven's sake!
Wentworth Detention Centre, can I help you?
All right.
Yes, go ahead. I've been doing a lot of thinking in the last few days, and I've learned one or two very important things about myself.
And what about Norman?
Oh, I've told him I want a divorce. I've told him that it's all over.
Well, yeah.
Well, I had to, Mervyn, because... well, I just had to.
Oh, you're a very remarkable woman, Joyce. It must have taken a lot of courage.
Thanks.
I don't suppose you, I don't suppose you wouldn't,
I suppose it'd be all right if we had a night out now, if you'd like to, Mervyn.
Oh, Joyce. Oh, Joyce.
Oh, do you mind? Other people have got to use this room too, you know. So I suppose we're lucky you're not doing it in front of the prisoners.
I don't think you understand, Miss
Sure,
Ferguson.
there's a lot of people who don't. Your husband, for one.
Just get back to my rounds.
Now, I told you I'd give you a day out, just remember, before I went back to Wentworth. And one thing about me, I always keep my word.
When you remember.
When I remember. Yes, I know. I remembered now, haven't I? Oops. Mind the step.
Oh, are we there yet? Oh, I've nearly broken my neck twice.
Sadie Grimshaw, will you stop your whinging?
I'll bet the whole village is looking at us. My reputation as a sober and respectable citizen has gone right down the plug hole since you moved in.
Oh, no one can see you. I bet you've been at those liquor chocolates again.
I have not.
You're always the same when you've had one over the 8.
Well, if you're going to be personal.
All right, now stop your grizzling. We've arrived. Now, you are about to have one of your lifelong ambitions fulfilled. There you are, Sadie. What do you reckon?
What is it?
Well, it's not a bloody go-kart, is it?
It's a Rolls Royce. What's it for?
Our day out. We're going to the races in style. I've even got a couple of bottles of your favourite medicine in there.
Auntie, oh, you shouldn't have. Oh, but you can't drive, and nor can I.
You don't credit me with the sense that I was born with.
I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything. Just get in, sit back and think of Tyrone Power.
I don't get it. This morning he's cracking a medal and now he's carrying on as though he's won $1 million or something.
I told you, I'm not talking to you after the trouble you caused me last night. I've now had to go for a new dawn.
I only said what I saw.
Come along, girlies, a bit more work, eh? The sooner we get these breakfast things washed, the sooner we start on tea.
We haven't had lunch yet.
That's what I said, lunch. Oh, you know, if we all work hard, I'm going to make some of our special chocolate kisses for us all later.
Better than boiled lollies, I guess. Merv the perv strikes again. What a nerd.
What was that?
Oh, just tell him we'll hear about a song I just heard, eh, Will?
Now, don't drag me into it, and don't call me Will. Willie's bad enough. Did you say to chip these or mash them?
What do we think best, Joyce?
She's not Joyce. She's Willie. Wilhelmina?
Wilhelmina.
You must remember Joyce. She's one of the screws in and out of here every 10 seconds.
Of course I know who Joyce, Mrs. Barry is, and if you're careful, I'll suggest you put you on one of those charge things.
Oh, don't do that. I reckon she'd do just about anything you asked her.
Lexi.
No, probably. I reckon she'd even give up a seat in the bus for you.
That's enough of that. Now, go back to work.
No, dead set cert. She'd probably even eat that rubbery pie you keep making, long as there was sauce, of course.
I'll have you know Mrs. Barry's a very happily married woman.
Oh, yeah? Well, I reckon if your luck holds out, she might even give that husband of hers a shop for you. Bet you fancy that, eh?
Shh, keep your voice down. No one must know.
Eh?
In heaven's name, did you find out about it anyway?
You mean it's true?
Mr. Pringle.
Good quality stuff. Too good for this place.
You said the contact would give me one package, Ballinger. What's in the second one?
Let's have a look, shall we? Might find a big surprise.
I can do without surprises. I was searched this morning and came
I'm
very
sure
close.
you're far too clever to get caught.
Oh, there'll be no danger of that, because there won't be any more deliveries.
We'll see. Why, what a coincidence. It's exactly what I expected to find.
You said I was only bringing in marijuana.
Did I say that?
That wasn't part of the agreement.
Oh, I think it was. It's a terrible thing, of course. But I think Myra's had a hell of a time recently. Not a word from any of her friends, not even a boyfriend. A girl can get so depressed when something like that happens. Even suicidal. I believe an overdose of heroin is a very unpleasant affair.
I think I'll insist we have our meetings out here in future. The federal police have turned that interview room into a very unprivate place. Have you checked your cell, by the way?
Ceiling to floor. No sign of a bug anywhere.
Be careful what you say, all the same.
I've had some very unambiguous chats with one of the screws, the one who did the pickups for me. She wouldn't have said what she did if they'd been listening.
Perhaps.
Well, what's the news from Arnie?
He suggests now is perhaps the time for you to pass on 2 more names to the police. Sullivan and Briggs.
2 more from Lionel's stable.
Mr. Fellows is not going to be pleased at all.
Well, since I left him to marry Arnie, there's been, how could one put it, a slight rift.
You'll need these, by the way.
No, thanks.
I still can't understand why you want a prison officer to bring in your drugs. You got those that came in your table lamp, didn't you?
Yes, I did. But this way I now have the screw under my control. I'll probably never have to use it, but I'd look pretty silly trying to blackmail a table lamp.
It's unreal, isn't it? Merv the Third and old Four Eyes Barry shacked up together. I just cracked up. How do you spell a door in
They'll
there?
have to wear blindfolds when they're doing it.
Are you sure they're actually living together? Of course I bloody am. Look, how do you spell a door in there?
A-D-O-O-R-E-Ling. What did Reno say?
Oh, nothing. Said she wanted to see him in her office. When he came back, he just told me to bugger off to the laundry. Pity, because I have quite a few jokes.
Collins, you're being put on kitchen duty to replace Patterson.
Oh, I've just sat down. I'm in the middle of a line.
I'm sorry, but no one will get lunch unless Mr. Pringle can get staff who can get on with their work without causing trouble.
Got the message, Mrs. Barry, on my way.
Carry on, ladies.
Oh, Mrs. Barry, you dropped something. Here, let me pick it up for you. It's a poem, girls. Listen to this. There was a beautiful girl called Joyce. What a smile, what a body, what a voice. She said, listen, Merv, you cute little perv, so I suppose I don't got any choice.
Get out, Patterson.
Mr. Pringle and I have just been called to the governor's office because of you.
But I didn't write it.
I'm not talking about the note, and you know it. It's about time you started to grow up.
Oh, but I was
because
just
if you don't, you're going to find yourself in very serious trouble. You've been getting away with all manner of things lately.
Look, but I was just...
And don't for a moment think that I don't know who stole my purse. I didn't report you because I thought you were going to settle down and get an early parole. Apparently I was wrong. But let me make this quite clear. The private lives of any member of the staff is no concern of yours. And unless you learn that lesson very quickly, you're going to find yourself in very serious trouble. Do you understand?
You look like you need something to calm your nerves a little.
This place is the bloody pits.
I agree. Come to my cell. I might have something to cheer you up.
I told you it was a mistake to let her in here with that bag of crisps.
We gave all the other girls a ride. We couldn't leave her out, could we? Anyway, she's the last.
We've been round this block 15 times. No wonder I'm dizzy.
I can't afford to make enemies at my time of life.
Oh, fair enough. But look at the mess she's made. Crumbs all over the joint. Good job we don't have to sleep in it. And look, she spilt champagne all over that lovely beige upholstery.
Well, I'll pay for any damage. Oh, Struth, you do carry on. I'll be glad to get back into the slammer.
Oh, don't, Etty. Why don't you stay? You drive me mad.
But I hate the idea of you being locked up in prison. Call that robbery off before it's too late.
Look, you've been very good to me, Sadie, and I don't know what I would manage without you, but I don't belong here. I belong inside.
You get used to it after a year or two.
Who's to say I've got a year or two? You see, you know Betty and Margot and whatever that fat one's name is, I can never remember her name. And I know my mob. They're a pretty rough lot, I know, but I know them and they know me. I know the rules. I mean, how would you like it if someone told you you couldn't ever see Betty again? I mean, look at the two of us sitting here. We'll get picked up for loitering in a minute. Must have missed 3 races already. All right, Victor, to the races and don't spare the GGs.
Well, it's not my fault they won't give you another dorm, so stop grizzling. And I suppose it's not your fault they sent you in here to annoy me. You've come here to gloat, May Collins, and don't you try to deny me.
May, come over and make sure this gravy doesn't boil over. And what are you doing?
I'm just getting Mrs. Reynolds' afternoon tea tray ready.
Look, they'll be in here for lunch in 3 seconds. We're not even ready. Just do that later.
Oh, how clumsy of me. Oh, they're ruined. Nothing but crumbs.
Willie!
I suppose I'll just have to throw this packet away and open a fresh one.
All right, but do it after lunch.
Why, you sneaky old tart. What else have you managed to find today? Well, it's funny you should say that. There are a few things Mr. Pringle asked me to put in the rubbish, but fortunately, I have an eye for recyclable objets d'art. All good, useful merchandise, wouldn't you say?
I've already given some out, but as soon as lunch is through, I want the rest distributed to the other blocks. Well, this won't last long. That's right, so they'll be ready for some more when I hand it out later on, won't they? Fair enough. Just make sure they have it outside or after lockup. It seems a pity to waste it. Just giving it away. I don't see you offering to pay for it. Yeah, but I'm a special case. I work for you. You're very short-sighted, Lou, my dear. The whole point of this exercise is that it's free at the moment. But we want them begging for more. And when they are, we'll hand out the strong stuff like cocaine, pills, heroin. Yeah, right. Of course, the smack must only go to the young girls, the ones who need regular work to support their expensive habit after they're released. And then they go in the game, right? Well, it wouldn't be fair to let them be released without a job now, would it? They'd only get into all sorts of trouble.
What's that for? Stop the smell going through the air system. Wouldn't want to get in a whiff of it in their gloves office or the staff room, eh? Break it down, Chuck. Rub the screws down on it. I can't help it. Shh. I just had this mental picture of the screws standing on the table in the staff room. Snot in the fumes. I can just see it. Oh, 4 eyes. Oh, that's it. We'll make a smoker out of you yet. I'd be too worried about the effects to do it a lot. Oh, come off it. Nothing wrong with a bit of grass. Does less harm than booze. No, they're not really sure about that yet. Some scientists think that THC remains in the brain cells for 72 hours, whereas alcohol's cleaned out in a day. Ball dust! I got off my face on ouzo once and felt like death for a week. Now, that would have been due to inflammation of the cells. Your liver would have cleaned out the actual alcohol in 24 hours. Oh, could have fooled me. Anyway, never been crook on dope. Mixing it with tobacco is probably more harmful than the grass itself, you know. Yeah? Mm. Even a very small amount of nicotine can have a deleterious effect on the brain and nervous system. It's a psychoactive drug. It reacts on the body's neurotransmitters. Neuro what? Neurotransmitters are the chemicals that carry nerve impulses by diffusing across the gap between nerve cells. You've been a medical student or something? No, nothing like that. I'll probably
read it in the paper or heard on the news or something. Oh.
Geez, you all right, Chuck? I'd offer you some, but this is the last piece.
Oh, no worries. I don't reckon it'd go down too well with the swill they gave us for lunch anyhow. Oh, but he's going.
Good. We don't want the natives to know we're working together, do we? I presume my little packages of heaven are on the way to the needy in the other blocks?
Yeah, sure. And everyone knows not to light them up until they're outside.
Something bothering you?
No, it's just Desmond. If she can mess it up, she will.
You don't think she can stop me, do you?
Not a chance. Desmond's history and she knows it. Now I've got Kath and Alice on side. Well, we can take care of her.
Quite. You worry too much. I've also organised some extra help from, well, let's just say official circles.
You mean a screw?
Never mind. This will take care of Myra for a start.
What are you going to do? Sweeten her up?
Acid. All I have to do is slip one of these and she'll be climbing the walls.
I've got to hand it to you. You're a smart lady.
You are off your face, aren't you?
Oh, it's cool, Mara.
Cool be buggered. It's one of the screws didn't get onto you. You smell like the drug squad incinerator.
Don't hassle me.
I'll hassle you, madam. Look what you've done to this one.
I think I'm going to be sick again. It's not my fault if she can't handle it.
Maybe you just a dope.
None of your business.
Callie brought it in, didn't she?
You looking for me?
Was you? You brought it in, didn't you?
Don't know what you're talking about, squarehead.
Don't lie to me, you bitch. You've been questioning the women looking for customers. Me, I'll open your belly. Try it. He's down your throat. Oh. You don't scare me, Desmond. I'm not getting into a blue over something I didn't even do. You've been looking for customers. Maybe I have.
But I got a fat chance selling the stuff when someone else has given it away.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just that. Who's going to buy it when they can get it for free?
All right, who's giving it away?
I'll work it out. I bet you got brains you haven't even used yet.
Bellinger.
See? You're not just a pretty face.
Thank you. You're looking quite pleased with yourself. You think we've got the skids under Desmond, okay?
Oh, I'd say there's a fair chance we won't have to worry about her much longer.
I did the right thing, putting that report in about her behaviour.
Oh, yeah, every little bit helps. But I'd go a bit easy for a while. We don't want to give the governor the idea that she's being victimised.
Right.
Actually, I have enlisted a little extra aid against her. Can't tell you too much at the moment, but I can guarantee Desmond's on the way out.
You trust me, don't you?
Of course I do. But this is just one of those times when what you don't know can't get you into trouble.
Fair enough.
Listen, what are you doing after work? I thought we might have a drink together. Well, that's if you're not busy with a boyfriend or whatever.
I haven't got one.
Oh, I thought you'd have had plenty of boyfriends.
No.
Well, maybe we could have dinner together sometime. You know, if we're off on the same evening.
I'd like that.
I do think I'm being a model prisoner, don't you?
No, I don't.
But I've just given those charming federal policemen 2 more names. They seem very pleased. Didn't they, Miss
They're
Morris?
not concerned about your effect on the other women.
I beg your pardon, that's Mrs.
Whereas
Morris, isn't
I
it?
am.
Forgive me. Are you saying you're upset by my behaviour?
I don't like you trying to undermine prison discipline.
I don't know what you mean.
Then I'll spell it out for you. I told you no other prisoner was to have access to your private phone.
And I haven't allowed anyone else to use it.
No. You've done the next best thing. You've made calls for some of the women while they were standing next to you. Patterson, for example.
How, I wonder, did you know that little Lexi Patterson had asked me to do that? Oh, no. Are you telling me my phone is tapped?
I'm telling you I won't allow it.
You're splitting hairs, aren't you?
I should have said you were. That phone is for your use only. Any access to it by any other prisoner is a breach of my instructions.
I do think you're being petty.
I don't care what you think. If it happens again, you'll spend time in solitary without
I'm
a
sure you'd
telephone.
agree with me, Mrs. Morris, that
Just
she's
listen
being-
to
the
governor, will you? You'll also stop giving the women gifts.
I've hardly given them a thing. An odd bottle of perfume, a biscuit or
I
two.
don't care what you've given them. Stopping a prisoner's buy-up is a disciplinary measure. If they're getting the same sorts of things from you...
I hadn't thought of it that way. I was just sharing. We all like to have nice things.
In future.
Oh, look. Isn't that lovely? Do you know, I'm sure we have the original in our home in South America.
Sit down, Ballinger.
What really surprises me is that you've turned your back on the real problems in Wentworth.
Oh, yes? Like what?
Drugs, of course.
Drugs?
I assumed you turned a blind eye to it. There seems to be plenty available. Uppers, downers, grass.
Have you seen any evidence of this, Mrs. Morris?
Not at all.
They must be covering it up very well. If you're interested in checking it out with the top dog, you might as well save yourself the energy. From what I've heard, Myra Desmond is the one who's getting this stuff in.
Oh, not this junk again.
Should be grateful for what you're given.
Yeah.
Well, when I was a girl, we used to smoke creatures like you and save them up till winter.
Too clever for me, Collins.
How's it going, Mark?
Oh, you know. I've got to talk to you.
Okay, rec room when I finish here. It's a problem. Ballinger's been up to some tricks. I want to have a talk to you before I have a little chat with her. I think I heard about her. See you later.
It's on Oahu,
Where's that?
one of the Hawaiian Islands. It's a big plantation-style house. You'd love the garden. It has the most beautiful tropical flowers, and it goes right down to our own private beach.
Oh, wow. Sounds like heaven.
Well, it's a good place to get away to. Daphne, what are you looking so worried about?
Oh, it's just Julie. She's been chucking up all arvo. Nora and Banjo are looking after her, but...
They'll work it out. Myra's the one I'm worrying about. She takes too much on herself.
Yeah, she really takes being top dog seriously. She likes to help everyone. I like people who try to be fair.
Look where it gets her. She's sitting there all over there by herself.
Yeah, she does look a bit lonely.
I've got a good idea. I'm going back to my cell. Why don't you take your coffee and go and try and cheer up?
You don't mind?
No, go ahead. Here, take my coffee. I don't want it and she hasn't got one.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. See ya.
Sure.
Hey, you mind if I join you?
Be my guest.
Thought you might like a cuppa.
Thanks, though.
You okay? You look a bit depressed. Is there anything I can do for you?
No, but thanks for asking.
Hey, maybe you should try having some plants in your cell. They're real good company. You could have one of mine for a while. You could have a holiday in your cell.
Nice idea. I might give it a try. Oh, coffee is as bad as the food. Yeah. How's that?
It's much better. I thought I'd never stop chucking.
Well, I told you not to go to the darn room if you were still feeling stoned.
You shouldn't have given it to her.
How was I supposed to know she couldn't handle it? Should have guessed, but...
I am feeling much better, thanks, Nora.
Good job Lexi came and found me. Sister Hall would have known what was wrong with you straight off.
Gee, she should have heard her, Nora. Went on as though she swallowed a dictionary or something.
I didn't know what I was saying.
Oh, bull dust you didn't. She went on with all this brainy stuff about booze and dope. Reckons alcohol can get rid of your liver in 24 hours.
I was just rambling on.
First time I've seen her act as though she wasn't scared of her own shadow. Don't let her fool you. She's a real bookhead.
Look, it must have been the grass. It was all rubbish.
Pigs. Look, I got a great idea. We should get you stoned out of your skull and send you on one of those TV quiz shows. We could make a fortune out of you.
No, I couldn't, Nora.
Take it easy, Jules. She's just kidding.
Geez, you two are a dead loss. You can't see a good opportunity when it's staring you in the face.
Settle down, Lexi. Hey, how about putting the jug on? I reckon she could handle a cup of weak tea now.
Ah, fix it yourself, Nursey. I'm going to see if I can score another joint off Ruth. At least she knows how to live. Fancy a toke?
Oh.
How about you?
No. I've got someone else's health to consider now.
You okay?
Been better. I'm just a bit tired. You ought to go and have a rest. You look buggered.
Yeah, later. Look, I thought you were going to back me up about keeping drugs out of here.
That's what I said, and I'll do it if that's what you want. I can't see any harm in a little bit of grass.
No? You obviously haven't seen Julie then, have you? She's as sick as a dog.
You've got a point, Myra, but not a big point. That kid could get sick on anything.
Look, either you back me or you don't. I just want to know where I stand.
I don't go back on my word.
I say no dope of any kind.
That's the way it'll be then.
Good. Thanks.
Just one thing. If you're going to take the grass off, what are you going to give me in place of it?
Their own good, can't they see that?
I doubt it. That's what my mum used to say to me when she was shoveling cod liver oil down my throat. You'll have to think of something. If you want to be top dog, you've got to be fair. If you take something away, you've got to give something in return, or the women won't cop it.
Do you really think I'd be stupid enough to give you another joint after you've already ignored my instructions for the first one?
I didn't mean any harm.
I don't care what you meant. I told you to smoke the dope outside. Now, because you couldn't be bothered to wait for an exercise period, Myra knows about it.
Oh, no one gives a stuff about Myra.
I do. Apart from anything else, if she can find out, so can the screws. I don't think you can be trusted with another joint.
Oh, come on, Ruth. I promise I won't blow it inside.
I'll think about it. See me again tomorrow.
Okay.
I said I'd think about it. That's all I'm promising. Now get out of here.
On your way, Patterson. In future, watch where you're going.
Yes, Miss Ferguson.
Patterson bothering you?
Nothing I can't handle myself.
Good. Now I've done my bit. What's happening?
I'd say the first stage is well underway by now. You'll hear about it soon enough.
Good.
By the way, there are a few small things I'd like you to do for me.
I have completed my end of the deal.
You want Desmond, don't you?
You know I do.
Well, I can't guarantee anything unless it's run my way.
Right. What are these jobs?
I'll tell you about it later.
If you take something away, you've got to give something in return, or the women won't cop it. Cop it. Cop it. Cop it. Cop it. Cop it. Dig, Desmond.
What are you doing in here? Looking for our great and glorious top dog. You seen her? No. Don't matter. I'll catch you later. What do you want her for?
What's that got to do with you? Sick of being pregnant, are we?
You wouldn't dare. You cross me, Flynn, and I'll see you lose it.
sweetie.
Well, I've been around everyone now and told them to keep their eyes open.
No one's seen any sign of drugs, so?
No, nothing.
Well, I don't trust Ballinger at all, but if what she says is true, we're going to have to do something about it straight away.
Look, shouldn't you be off by now?
Yes. Jenny Hartley's coming for dinner.
Yes, you told me.
Strange seeing them both so grown up. Makes me feel old.
Oh, come on, you're not on the pension yet. Well, it's nice for Pippa to go and see her old girlfriend.
Yes, they've always been good for each other. But their lives are so completely different these days.
Oh?
Well, Jenny hardly ever goes anywhere. She seems to have given up her life to look after her grandmother. On the other hand, Pippa seems bent on nothing but self-gratification.
Oh, I doubt that. Look, she's just excited about coming home and has been a bit thoughtless.
I'm a bit worried about meeting her boyfriend. He's arriving from Europe tomorrow on a business trip.
I bet he's more worried about meeting you.
He's married, Meg.
Governor, I've just taken Desmond to the hospital. She's off her head on drugs.
Myra?
She's the only Desmond we've got, isn't she?
Get the women lined up in the corridor. Start a cell search straight away. I'm going to see Desmond.
Is that necessary? Yes, Mrs. Reynolds. I'm afraid she might hurt herself. Never mind one of us.
Do you know what she's taking?
No, but I'd say it's some kind of hallucinogenic.
Can you find out?
Well, it's some form of LSD. They usually ingest it, so you have to have a stomach pumped and the contents analysed. Yes. And I'll take the blood and saliva test to see if she's taken it some other way, too.
I want to know exactly what she's taking.
Myra, I want to know what you've taken. We have to know so we can help you.
Good thing for you they didn't pull this stunt a couple of hours ago.
Yeah, I know. Thanks again, Nora. I don't know what I'd have done without you.
It's all right. Just don't be so bloody silly again.
Wonder what they're after, eh?
You don't have to be an Einstein to work that out. Particularly after the state you were in the salvo.
Mrs. Morris, do you realise Myra isn't here for this cell search?
No, she's in the prison hospital. Flynn made a real mess of herself with drugs.
Is that right, Mrs. Morris?
Yes, it's right.
But it can't be. Myra's dead set against drugs.
Really? Well, can we assume, then, that you planted this, Flynn?
No. I don't know anything about it.
Only leaves Desmond, then, doesn't it?
It's got to be a frame.
She's really been fooling everyone, hasn't she? She won't talk her way out of this.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.